I gotta.
Okay, thanks. Welcome to the world of ability. I do believe we are live on the air at this point, and that means you are in the right place. You are with me here to find out all the things going on in the world of ability. My name is Sue Roskopf, and we are always here on Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m. Central. And you never know what you're going to get each week. We are excited to have a couple of wonderful guests joining us at the top of the hour here. And I know we've got others that plan to be popping in and out as the time continues here. But first up, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Marc Beilin with On the Mark TV. He has had so much going on in the recent days. Oh man, you got some catching up to do with us. We are excited to hear what's all been taking place. If you want to go ahead and take over for a few minutes here, I'm excited for all the updates.
Hi, everybody. This is Marc Beilin, CEO of On the Mark TV. And if you are checking out my Facebook and LinkedIn and all my other live streaming, we are blowing up. On the Mark TV is now on Roku for the last 3 weeks, which means it puts you at about 350 million viewers or more. So if you want to get your brand out there, if you want to get your face out there, if you want to get everything about you out there and have millions and millions of people streaming it across the globe, then come see Marc Beilin on the Mark TV. And we are now on with Easy Way TV, which is iVod Easy Way. We're on iVod. We're on Roku. We're on Nonprofit TV. We're on Stream Pulse. We're on all kinds of networks out there. So it never stops. So you guys want to get out there and get on our networks. We had a huge event last Sunday where we were at Easy Way, the new location for Easy Way, which is on 2038 Sacramento Street in Los Angeles, California, a 6,000 square foot studio where we are doing live events. We just did the Easy Way ribbon cutting ceremony with Dr. Eric Zulius as the magnificent host. And we had Cassandra Cooper, Mark G from Mark G Television. We had Bruce from Langer Juice. We had the gentleman from All Aboard Limousine, Esau McKnight, and we had the gentleman from Door to Door Flights, and we had Anthony Strolli from Nonprofit TV. We had John Michael Ferrari, which is going for a Grammy soon, and we're going to nominate him for a Grammy and get him voted in. Let's all everybody join in and vote for John Michael Ferrari for the next Grammys. We was going for Best New Artist, so I want to push him to help him get the Grammy nomination. We had all kinds of people showing up for this event. It was phenomenal. Jason Span from Expansion TV was there. I don't even know how to, it was just incredible. It was in a great moment. I was just sitting there working the gold carpet because what we're going to do is we're changing the world. We're going to change it from the red carpet to the gold carpet. So we're going hashtag red to gold. That's the new hashtag. Hashtag Easy Way Family. Hashtag On the Mark TV. Hashtag red to gold. Hashtag World Ability Podcast. Hashtag Spirit of the Game. Hashtag Khalil Sullivan. That's right. Khalil Sullivan, the man with the plan. If you want to know what's going on in the world of networking, then that's the man you want to see, Mr. Khalil Sullivan. And I'm going to pass on over to Khalil Sullivan, the man with the plan.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it to that event. I was, dealing with birthdays and new days and connecting with people around the world. I've been networking with a few different a partner in Finland. There's an event happening in Dubai coming up in October for the Tech Week. They're inviting U.S. companies to come out and get structured and build a relationship in that part of the world. We have a lot of family office events. It's now roadshow season. It's fundraising season, so a lot of people are gearing up to do capital networking events to show how to create some money and get some money invested into early stage startups to other types of companies. So I've been networking to find ways to help people get established in business, get connected to the right people that will teach and elevate people to the next stage of their life, no matter who you are, where you are on the planet. So yeah, just any kind of events. I want to place them on the Mark TV, the Easy Way, all the different networks of these great friends that are based here in California to the whole globe. So keep it short and sweet, and we can continue in a few more minutes. Any questions? for what I'm doing, but I have questions of who you met and what they're doing. So, Mark, why don't you give some insight on what Easy
Hey,
Way
good.
is?
You give the information on how to reach you. Can you get a phone number, a LinkedIn, or email? How
Oh
do
yeah.
people reach you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all socials. Either my name, which is spelled Kahlil, last name Sullivan. It's a little different. So I use open source as my handle because I love connecting to source, the God, the one, the creator of all, and love, and more than just inspiration. We can do things together when we put ourselves on the same platforms. So. That's where I am. Anywhere digital, it's usually my face, the same face. I only have one face. But you can find me anywhere: Instagram,
You got
Facebook,
a phone number they can call you
Snapchat.
directly at?
I don't usually put my number online like that, but sure, I have a business line. It's 925-338-9798. Again, 925-338-9798. And just drop me a text. I'm usually busy because I do have a normal job, a normal 9 to 5. I work in healthcare, so I'm still committed to doing that for the last 20 years because we need to help those that are sick and firm and need a little bit of support as they're navigating life. So yeah, just text is best. That's also a WhatsApp number. So if you're around the world, you can WhatsApp me. And please don't call me because I'm in different events and on Zooms, and usually I'm on mobile, so that will take the frequency away of attention. And we want to focus on creating attention, retention, and bring it back around to bring more people together. And that's a shout out to Matt Falk with AIX Network, which I like very much. We're building that platform out to help people in business use AI agents to be able to communicate with people when they're busy doing events. So there's that. Yeah, but please reach out. Feel free.
Outstanding, Mr. Sullivan. We appreciate you. You're the man with the plan. You're the guy telling everybody how to get together. You want to bring all the facets of networking from both in person and online together so everybody can reach the entire globe. That's the power of networking. So you can reach people that are unreachable. So that way you can reach people in every single country and every single facet of the entire globe. And that's what On the Mark TV helps you do. We help you expand your business. And we're running a special right now, an incredible special. Oh my God. People are telling me I'm crazy because normally you pay like $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 to be on a global channel reaching 350 million people. But you know what? Because you're everybody here is friends with Kurt and Sue Roskopf and the Spirit of the Game Foundation and the World Ability Podcast and Project Die Hard and No More 9 to 5 and the Easy Way family. We have a special going on right now that you can come on the channel and give me 4 shows, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, an hour. I got to fill 160 hours of television and come on and give me your television shows for only $100. That's right, $100 a month. That's it. $100 a month to be seen by 350 million people or more across 350 million streaming devices. And if you have a brand, you have a product, if you have a package, if you have a class, if you have anything that you're trying to promote online, or in person, I will also be your what they're called your affiliate. That's right, your affiliate. So instead of 5 people telling 5 people, telling 5 people, why not tell 350 million people at once? So make On the Mark TV your affiliate. That's right. Starting at 10%, I can be your affiliate. That's right. So just contact me at 480-395-5754. Find me on my Facebook, find me on my LinkedIn, find me in all the social medias. I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. And you can connect with me. And for the $100, you can be on television talking about your brand, inviting your friends, creating your own show. Take your podcast, take your YouTubes, and blow them up to 350 or more million people. By the end of this year or sooner, we'll be at 500 million people because we're streaming on what they call Whale TV Plus. Let me explain Whale TV Plus. Whale TV Plus is a brand out of Beijing, China. And what they do is they have 400 brands of televisions. And you can be on all 400 brands of those televisions across India, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, all the continents. And they're expanding to the United States. And that's right. Every single time you turn on one of those TVs, On the Mark TV is on there streaming. So imagine the reach you can have for $100. That's just unreal. And because you know why? Because I'm an entrepreneur just like you. I don't want to take your money. I want to take your brand and yourself and blow it up across the world. That's what I want to do. I want to help you become bigger, better, better. I want you to become the number one brand of your genre, whatever you're doing, and make it the number one in the world. That's what we're trying to do. So get on it with On the Mark TV. Call me at my direct number at 480-395-5754, or catch me on like Facebook or LinkedIn. Just reach out to me and let's get you started. And again, let me become one of your affiliates. You know, you all heard of Melaleuca, Amway, Herbalife, all those great companies, and they're MLMs, all right? And what they do is they try to promote people to become part of their affiliates, part of their downline. Well, Marc Beilin On the Mark TV can become your downline, but it's different. So the only difference is you have to own the company, all right? As long as you own your company, I can help you promote your brand at only a 10%, starting at 10%, and whatever you decide to do, that's what we do. If you got a 20%, 30%, whatever you have always been used to. I'm not changing the game. What I'm doing is I'm just helping your game get bigger. Okay. So reach out to Marc Beilin On the Mark TV, and reach out to Khalil Sullivan, because when it comes to networking, we're the men with the plan. All right. So reach out to us. And thank you to Kurt Roskopf and Robert Butwin and Eric Zulli and all these people that have brought us all together and make this a great networking community with Sue Roskopf and Michael Hummel and Marianne Ambrose and Mariana Waikiki and Anthony Cirelli of Nonprofit TV and Maureen of iVod TV and so much more. Just come out and see us.
I love it. I love it. It's a small room we have now, but the reach is vast. The reach, who's connected to who, it's not about who you know, it's who knows you. So
there you go, like that. That's a new one.
That's right. That's right.
It's not about who knows you. It's about it's not about what. Say it again. That's pretty good.
It's not about who knows you. It's wait.
It's so good he forgot it.
That's right, but it's real. We live it. You know, it's not a saying.
Come on,
it's a living.
Come on with that. Come on, let's start a bumper sticker plan.
Not about who you know. It's about who knows you.
It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. Man, hashtag that, baby. Hashtag. It's not about who knows. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you.
And who knows you? Absolutely.
It's not that's what hashtag. We do. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. Now that's pretty good, guys. That's pretty impressive.
Yep. It's just connecting. I've been dropping the Zoom link in different chats that I'm in, and these are different people, random around the world because it's impromptu. But once you take that opportunity to take a chance and reach out to someone, you never know what can happen or what they can help you with. You know, it's one thing to say, here, you know, I don't have anything, and this is where I need to start from. It's another thing to say to ask for something to someone that has something in the wrong way. And so, like, I like to teach how to network, how to be connected to people and be yourself without an ask. It's more about a give. What can you give? And you give of yourself, you truly give. This is one of the fundamental principles that the master teachers talk about, and how life itself works. You know, we're in I'm in this group with Napoleon Hill Foundation, and they teach from Think and Grow Rich, or You Were Born Rich, or things that like Bob Proctor or Neville Goddard or Charles Snell. Like, these are the great thinkers that created business, but they also open their lists of who they know to help. And like you mentioned, Robert Button, good friend and mentor, and talking to him for a few years about business, because I was in a business and I wasn't making the money that I thought that I deserved from the time and energy that I was putting in. And I said, can you connect me to this person? Can you help me? Can you help me find something? And of course, the work is you putting in the time and building the relationship. That's the true value of when you're connecting, because then again, it's not who you know, it's who knows you and what they're able to build with you. And then everyone starts from zero. Everyone starts from nothing. Nothing is something, though. You're valuable just as who you are and where you're coming from and what you want to do. It's how do you build that up as a foundation? How do you get funded? How do you structure your business? How do you write copy so you can reach out and do your reaches on social? How do you advertise on a streaming network that reaches 350 million people around the world? Each one of those people knows someone else. So once they get to know you, now what can they do? They say, "Oh, I talked to this guy on the phone. This guy Mark, he's amazing. He's got all these connections, and he's very generous with his time and generous with his knowledge, and he's able to connect you with resources. And so once you have that resource, you're coming to source. I was talking to someone in Finland today, amazing human being. She's a Italian Brazilian woman, brilliant. Okay, and she was talking about a structure of well, we'll bring that out later when you're able to see it, because I'd rather not talk about something that are in the works of happening. I want to show the proof, the social proof and proof of concept that allows you just to really see what is, because there's a lot of people that try to do things, but they're not really doing it. They're attempting to. And then sometimes people perceive that as like a scam, or they're just trying to get established. But once established and people can see you, then they know who you are, because you're accountable for yourself, accountable for what you do, and then you can create accounts, bank accounts. I like that. Creating money, instead of chasing it, create it. This is a whole nother concept that most people are, in this consumer world, we buy things and they don't really have value. They kind of lose their value right when you purchase it. Well, when you share yourself, you're not wasting anything. You're able to continue doing that, because you're always going to be yourself. You're always going to be that person that can give value to others. And people value time. They value honesty, integrity, authenticity. These are most people put themselves in a different position than who they really are. And so these are the type of people I've been talking to that want to create a network of people that provide for one another and resource privately first. Then you have a public space, then you're talking about different type of investment or the government and the places that we live in, and they're supporting us to be able to do the things with others. So it's kind of what I do. I connect with people, I figure out what they do in life and their business, and I like to share that. And so what better way to do that is through the media. Right now we're broadcasting on different channels. This will be compiled with an AI type synopsis of what we talked about. People can see it. They're going to see it when we're sleeping, and it's a daytime on the other side of the world, which means that it's happening even when we're not enacting, or we're not taking action. We're inactive in a way. But in your subconscious mind, when you're sleeping, that's a whole nother story. We could talk about that another time. But it is about your story. It's about his story, her story. And my little granddaughter, she's 7. She said, "Hi, story." Right? Hi, story. She said, "Hello to the story." So we want to be able to tell your story, and then you're becoming a content creator, right? Everyone has a story, even if it's same, it's still different. Same, but different around the world. So we want to account for these people, recognize who they are, up level them, celebrate them, because we're all doing the same thing on this planet. And so the value is you, right? If you spell the word value, VALUE, if you take you out of it, it's veil. And if you have a veil, you can't see, it covers up. And we want to remove the veil to no avail. We want to make sure that we can put people in the right position and educate them. And there's a group that I was talking to. This man is a nuclear physicist. Okay, I like to talk to people that are smarter than me, because then I gain more knowledge and I become smarter just being around them. And so this man has a network of people around the world, very artists to other types of people with degrees, and people that have a high degree of knowledge with no degree at all. It's all how you present yourself. But what they've created is the ability for us to connect and share in a collective of people that are gathered to help each other in life, put ourselves in different positions to share wisdom, to share knowledge, to share time, to share resource, and that creates more. And then you get connected to people wherever you can. I get invited to things all the time. I just need more time to be able to be present. And while like I mentioned with the AI thing, AI gives you the ability, so it will work when you're not working, and it doesn't get sick. Well, it can't get a virus. Get it? It's a technology virus. I love it, but you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that it's functioning properly. And we have these great things. Oh, Mark, what about what's the gentleman with the discovery, the Great Discovery? We didn't talk about
Tim
that one.
Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Tim
So great.
Taylor, which I just became an affiliate for. So now Tim Taylor of Great Discovery has had the genius of adding On the Mark TV as his affiliate. So now I can branch his brand out to over 350 million across the globe. And also I'm doing it for Tim Miller of Puddles Be Gone, and I'm doing it for Mark Miller for emergency water filtration systems, and we're doing it for Jason McNamara of No More 9 to 5, and we're going to be doing it for Employer's Choice, which is an insurance company. I mean, we're doing it for everyone that needs to. These are people that are smart in their business and they're CEOs, and they're saying, Mark, you know what? We're always asking for affiliates to sign on. Why not we just sign on an entire television network to become our affiliate? That way, instead of us trying to reach 5 and a 5 and a 5, we're reaching millions at a time. That's what you should be doing too.
Absolutely. It's scale. That's how you scale your business. And you need customers, but you also have to be conscious of what you're doing and what you're consuming. So the Great Discovery, can you describe what it does? Because I think it's profound. I think it can connect people in communication.
I think you're a little more deeper with it, but I know that it's all about education. It's all about helping people and teachers and students and people across the globe becoming more knowledgeable and more about what they need to know, and reaching out to more people and sharing the knowledge across everyone, so everyone gets their different courses that they offer. And you can start out just by being free. For the first time, it's free. And then you would, that way you just get to learn, sign up for free at the Great
Oh,
Discovery, and they do events with like Bree Campano, and they do, and you can get online with them and learn more about them, and then you can find Tim Taylor on LinkedIn, and find the entire network on Facebook and LinkedIn, and sign up with them, and use On the Mark TV as your affiliate, and it's all it starts off free. So what's better than free? Getting educated for free. So sign up with the Great Discovery, use On the Mark TV as your affiliate, and there you go. And why do they call it the Great Discovery? Because it allows you to discover what's going on in the world before it even happens.
aha.
And then and Khalil, you've been a member of the Great Discovery for a while. Why don't you go into a little more detail?
Well, my understanding is it's content and your expert information. So anyone can be an expert of a subject that someone doesn't know, as long as they've studied that material and they present in a way that's learnable, right? And so what I understand this platform can do, it can translate in any language. You can set a video of what you're talking about and reach different people around the world. So it's an amazing way to bring out your product, your service, your business, or yourself in the world. Because once you start getting that following, you're going to continue to grow. Now there's other platforms and things that are similar, but you go where the people are. And so I actually am not an affiliate of the Great Discovery. I believe that's a great tool, and I just share it. You know, I'm not, I don't, I, you know, I work a little bit differently. I'm, uh, I'm not concerned about earning money because I'm creating it. So, you know, giving a plug for someone is great. You're promoting. Promotion is key. Maybe what I'll do is I'll get on and I'll create some courses, and everything I'm talking about, they're going to be different subjects. And I have different platforms that, like I said, that do the same thing. And I talk to educators and people with degrees that teach at university, or that just meet people and they have meetings and they talk about, uh, you know, anything. And so if you're not good at remembering things, then you got to take notes. So you take those notes, and then the next part is sharing that information, because you're sharing that knowledge, and then you're going to learn a second time because you're teaching it. And then you become an expert in that subject matter. You know, no different than a tenured professor at a university that's been teaching whatever subject for so many years. The difference is they're in a system that pays them. What you can do is you get paid off your knowledge. The information industry is huge, because it's you're just learning things, and there's somebody else in the world that will need to know what you know at any time. So, you know, you put yourself out. We can teach branding, which is like who you are and what you represent. And you know, we have experts in that field as well. You know, publicists to public relations people to talent managers. If you're interested in being an actor, an actress, you know, in any form, you could be a voice actor. You can, you know, produce things on YouTube for yourself. That's you television. And I wonder, can you share YouTube content of your own on your platform, Mark?
All day, every day.
all day,
YouTube,
every day. So
podcasts, any videos. Absolutely.
I love it.
If you make
So
it,
that's
we'll share it.
so it's having fun and getting around the right people. We have people that are script writers to just storytellers to whatever, and you can use different formats. Now, I know a lot of people are big into AI and they're trying to create things that are just solely AI, which is not real content in a way. It's content you can watch. I've watched a few AI movies right now, which are pretty interesting. Um, because they once you script it or you put a prompt in, it'll write what you say in real time. And now I think Google came out with some sort of AI program that you can talk to it or type it in and walk in this environment that continues to change as in real time, which is like blows my mind that you can be in this open world environment that is fictitious, that is like imagination in real time. Whatever you can think, whatever you believe you can achieve, whatever you can think, you can see now with this technology. So it's getting around the people that can teach how to scale an AI and how to use the tools that are out there, so that way you can help more people. I think that life itself is service and service is caring. And the more that we do that, the more we create balance in the world. We create peace with prosperity. We start understanding that we're all alive on this earth and we're meant to do things for each other so we can live a better quality of life. And how do we get there? Any system, any way of media is a way for us to talk to each other, to tell those stories. And when there's harm, we want to create good. Do the opposite of what is. And when you do that, you can do anything. Once you understand it, it becomes you get these things called downloads, where or you're tapping into the energy and life and love of everyone. And when you start thinking beyond yourself, you elevate your consciousness. What your now is. When you're here now and you're present, you're sharing the gift of the moment. And when you start thinking beyond yourself of how can I help millions of people, then this is any great creator, any great innovator, any great business person, any entrepreneur. Follow the origin stories of these great leaders like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and anyone. They're just people. Really, they're not better than anyone else. But
Make me a
it what
blue
can
eye photo of this.
well, I. So yeah, I just there's so much stuff we can talk about. This is a unscripted conversation, popcorn style. Popping in things that we know and where we've been, and in the last few weeks, few months, I've been doing some things I can't talk about because there's contractual things you can and can't say about certain things. But just say I've been working on some film projects and some documentary projects that with some pretty known people, famous people, celebrity type people. But these are when you get to that level and you're doing these types of deals, you're in the industry, and there's a lot. There's in the entertainment industry, whether it's sports or film or even humanitarian work. We need to bring expose to the good things like what's happening here in the world of ability. We're helping people create the ability to do more for themselves and the other people around them. So I don't know if Sue is available yet to pop back in. She's preparing some things, and we can go more into depth of where we are, what we're doing. But invite people. If this resonates with you, come back when we have different schedules. It's show up. I mean, that's one of the biggest keys I've learned is just showing up. Somebody invites you to something, you're able to you show up and then you learn something and then you have something to share, and that sharing is content, right? Say, hey, I was on this thing with these great people and they were talking about all these different subjects, and it's an open room. You can come in and say hello. Don't be afraid to say hi. It's a simple thing to make friends with people, and that builds that trust and that love, which equals real respect. Then what happens? Then anything you can then inspiration happens and aspirations come from that, and then action plans. And there's a word I learned today, which is not in the dictionary. It's it's collaboratic. Collaboratic. And I want to define it because it's a new word to me, and it's a combination of words. Let me find where it is real quick because they wrote it, and I want to define it so you can understand it. Collaboratic. And so when you get a word, you have to put it into a sentence.
So
So let me give you.
while you're looking that up, I just wanted
Sure.
to welcome Lucas and Marianne to the show. So
Oh, hi. Yeah. Hey,
if anyone
Lucas,
can say
I think he
anything.
said he's on a train. So let's see if he can chime in. Lucas, where are you calling from? Are you able to talk a little bit? Is it too noisy? No, it's okay if it's noisy.
I'm
Okay.
not sure if you'll be able to unmute to say anything, but he's from Poland.
Ah, Poland. Beautiful people, very loving people. Okay. So the word collaboratic, oh, excuse me, collabocratic, I'm mispronouncing is a new word to me. It means transparent and intellectual cooperation plus purposeful commercial action plus merit-based rewards. So that's it's pretty interesting that it has a deeper meaning of connection of thoughts. The thoughts that we put together then create business, and then you're rewarded for what you do in the world. So that's the word. And then you said Marianne is here. Marianne of Waikiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been amazing. You guys I'm learning a ton, and I see, Marianne, why don't you go ahead and give us some updates? I know there's a lot going on by you as well.
Hola, yeah. Well, I can see clearly now the thunder and rain is gone. We're in San Carlos, Mexico. The Hurricane Lorena took a turn to the Pacific, which was great. And we had 3 hours of rain last night, and then it wasn't raining. And I talked to the captain of the sailboat, and anyway, it started thundering and lightning. Um, so far, so good for me. I have a pool outside my door, and we drained it, and we got a good flooding system here. But you never can be, a sailor and a boater and all that. You always, when weather comes and changes, you got to be prepared for anything that can happen. And especially with all the floods that we saw, and it's flooded in Cabo San Lucas. It's flooded over another city from us, which didn't get hit by the hurricane. And so we're just sitting here having a hurricane party. Darlene's got the tennis on. We got lights, camera, action. So, and a freezer and hurricane relief food. So it's not over with. We've got lots of rain. So go out and play as our tagline, but be cautious. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Aloha. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 Pope Manus puppets. And the books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and the Perfect Wave. We sold our first set of the books this week to a lady at the nail salon. And I found out she was a sailor from San Francisco. Decades ago, they sailed from San Francisco down here to San Carlos, Mexico, which is about 6 hours south of Phoenix. And that's where we've been for 2 years. So, and working on the projects. So wanted to share with you too, Sue. There's a teacher in, I guess, Milwaukee, Oregon, a school teacher requesting additional support, like $125, and Donors Choose will match $25 to help her get pottery equipment into her high school. So I sent that to Kurt today. I thought it was Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we're trying to put out the word about Donors Choose because all classroom teachers can receive copies of the books from donorschoose.org. And it's back to school season. So thank you so much for having me here. Aloha. Adios.
Well, aloha. Very nice. I'm in the Bay Area near San Francisco, born and raised, and that's a long boat ride, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. And be safe out there with the wet and climate weather because it shifts. But you batten down the hatches and get yourself bunkered down and ride the storm. I mean, but there's another saying. It's you dance in the storm like no one is watching. And that's a great way to look at life and enjoy the brilliance of what's around us and the environment that we're in. And I have a friend down in Mexico right now. I don't know if he's near San Carlos, but I'm gonna ping him and see where he's at because they just traveled down there today, and they're doing a talk down there and connecting with people. I have a few friends that are doing mining in Mexico, like not crypto mining, but actual like ores and minerals and things like that in Mexico. And they keep meeting. They have these like different meetings down there with these different investment people. Um, and just to help the people. That's all it's about. Even from Tulum, which is a very exclusive area, to the streets of Mexico City, to Mexico's a beautiful country, and I've met a lot of people from there, being where I'm from, and so that's actually how I started learning how to speak Spanish. And so all my friends invited me to their house, and their grandmas, the abuelitas, they say, Khalil, come in and have some food. It's time to eat. So, tiempo comer. So, here you have some food down there. So be safe. And thank you for that share, Marianne.
Yeah, and I also want to share two compliments to the president of Mexico. There's advertisements of what they're doing with businesses and helping the community. And actually, there is a sign language interpreter there doing sign language in Mexican sign language. And, why don't we have that sign language interpreter on the corner when President Trump is speaking? So just kind of showing that, making awareness, this is the world of ability, that sign language is needed worldwide for communications for any type of event, especially in emergencies and, things that are opening up, There's a 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss, and we have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So giving that extra, communication, that's been known for years. And making sure that, everybody's accommodated with, and especially too with our autistic community, we can teach them basic sign language skills. And that's what we have. We have the YouTube channel now with the ABC finger spelling alphabet with Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab for our first book, Oh, Underwater Acts of Kindness, for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And we have Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, with Chelsea, the Courageous Sign Language Chicken, and Eve, the Finger Spelling Bumblebee. We have YouTube channels for that. And we created a Cool Acts of Kindness book for Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation for climate change. So if Sue later down, you could play one of our book trailers that would show more of what we've been doing and getting out there, especially with nonprofit TV, Anthony. And I want to highlight Marc on the Marc TV as well. So great things are happening to get the words out there. And I did talk to Zach Clayton about they're doing a chili cook-off, I guess in November 7th on a Saturday. And I suggested that his organizers look at my book series to purchase at my author price and to sell them at the event, because they're going to be donating books and board games to a children's hospital there in Colorado. So doing a lot of creative work here. So, but reaching out to Zach and letting him know too that a friend of ours from Unity Church made his transition and is matching up to $5,000 to Paralyzed Veterans of America. So Zach said that's something we can think about in December when he has his Christmas telethon, marathon. And so getting the words out there for everybody. So children's hospitals, Paralyzed Veterans of America, we're doing great things and getting it out there, especially Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation. If he'll be joining us, he can update us too as well. I know he's returning to Las Vegas, so I also can say what happens in Vegas stays with Vegas with Leon. So back to you. So good things are happening and shifting this week.
Excellent. Always glad to hear updates of what's all happening. And I know you had mentioned about playing a trailer. That is one thing I'm actually not in a position to do today because I'm on my phone instead of the computer. We're going to be in transit here momentarily. So I don't know. Well, Emily, while you are still here, is that something that you might be able to pull up? I know we've got those videos on YouTube on the World of Ability Podcast Network page. So, or site. So if that's something that is easy enough to pull up and play, that would be absolutely amazing. So
I just uploaded it into the chat. So Clean Water Foundation, and hopefully Leon will join us.
Very nice. All right. So with the change of the seasons here, I'm kind of curious. I know you guys have been talking a lot about all these updates and wonderful things happening. So excited to hear it all. I'm curious where things are going as this year is, gosh, we're on I feel like once school season hits, we kind of are in that downslide here into the end of the year and looking towards what goals do we have between now and throughout the rest of 2025. So I'm kind of curious where you guys all see things going here in the next few months, and what you are looking forward to both this fall and then as we transition into 2026, what is on the horizon. So, Marianne, actually, do you want to speak to that first?
Well,
Okay.
what's on the horizon? Well, we're just grateful that we got on the Marc TV promoting the book trailers and getting it out to everybody. And we'll be talking with Marc also too of his networks, and Marc can explain a little bit more of that. But I'm grateful I completed the series, and they're all published and ready to go and get them out into the community. So lights, camera, action. Back to you.
Excellent. And Khalil, why don't you go ahead?
Sure, thanks, too. So yeah, it's a lot of people are preparing for the first quarter and the last quarter. So, we divide the years by months, and what we do in those months determine our trajectory and growth throughout the year. And of course, the seasons matter. Like a lot of people where I'm from are saying that it's spooky season, that it's already Halloween, and it's not. It's still summertime here, and it's going into fall pretty soon. But it's preparation for collaboration with financial goals is what everyone's doing right now, and gathering investors and different forms of capital, which is just money that you can use for business. I think a lot of that's happening right now, and people are traveling the world to meet people to get prepared for the new year, because then you have a new cycle of growth as the new year comes, especially in the coldest time of the year, which is the winter around the world. People, they have a time of solitude or isolation somewhat, because it's hard to travel because of the weather. It's not sunny, it's not warm, and there's more rains and there's snow and all these things. So those are the times that you strategize, and then when the spring blooms after the winter, that's when things are in full swing again, and then you're headed into the summer. But the summer is where sometimes things slow down. But most successful people, they don't waste time. They're always finding ways to create growth no matter the season. So seasons are important, and what you plant now will grow, and then you'll harvest later. And so these are analogies of ways of growth, but these are what is professionals use to gauge where they are and create benchmarks into the next phases in production, to operations, to how do you run a business, how do you gather people. And a lot of people do hiring, and then but to segue into, I said Marc, so I'm going to segue into Marc and see what he wants, because the benchmarks are here, and that's what we're creating now. So thank you so much. And the mute button is a powerful thing, sir.
As some people wish I was muted all the time, so maybe that's why I leave it off all the time. So yes, so I'll piggyback on what Khalil said, but the fact that, like, as a CEO myself, I mean, I like the seasons, I do, but I live in Arizona, so there's one season. 2 seasons, I should say, really, really, really hot, and it's not. So, Arizona, the desert, like it was really, really, really hot, and now it's starting to cool down. So, when normally it's 115 degrees, it's only 90, and 90 is like springtime here in Arizona. And so people are starting to, gear back. Labor Day is all gone. People are starting to think, forward again. Their brains aren't melting from the heat. I try to increase business here in Arizona. But I'm more global. I'm actually, I reach all over the world. So my main thing is, exactly the only way I can put it, and to simplify it, is I put more eyes on the prize. And as an entrepreneur, you're the prize. You're the one who wants more volume and more product and more everything, more into your bank account. Let's be honest. We want to increase our bank accounts, okay? And how do you increase your bank accounts? By putting more eyes on your product. You see it every single day. Look, I'm going to give you the perfect logic, all right? The NFL season just barely started yesterday, okay? And the day before, all right? Thursday and Friday were 2 games, okay? All right, 2 games into the season. And the Super Bowl ads are sold out. That's in February. And you know why it's sold out? Because there's not enough opportunities for entrepreneurs to get their brand out there. So they're spending millions of dollars to get onto the Super Bowl to see 60 million viewers. 60 million viewers for 3 to 5 hours. Okay, $60 million. All right, they're spending millions and millions of dollars to reach 60 million people during a 3 to 5 hour period. Okay, why not on the Mark TV? I'll take half of that. I'll take a third of that. I'll take 10%. And I'll get you in front of 350 million viewers. So if you're spending all that money on Super Bowl commercials and reaching 60 million people, why aren't you spending the money with On the Mark TV, Easy Way, iVod Easy Way, a nonprofit TV, iVod TV, iDreams TV, all these other networks that I belong to, my Roku channel. I could put you on movies, television shows, popular TV, popular movies, in living color. Do you want your commercials on in living color? That's right, in living color is on my channel, the most popular Black culture's TV show in history. Okay, and I can get your commercials on that. It's playing right now on the Mark TV in living color. Okay, that's the weigh-ins. That's Jim Carrey. Okay, think about that for a minute, right? So you're spending millions and millions of dollars to be seen by 60 million people for one single day during a 3 to 5 hour period. I get it. It's the Super Bowl. I'm a fan. I love it. I watch it. Okay. But I could get you on there every single day to 350 million viewers plus across the globe. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the Super Bowl is popular in the United States, but is it popular in China? Is it popular in Beijing? Is it popular in Japan? Is it popular in Africa and Australia? Is it popular there? Maybe not. Maybe the Super Bowl is really popular within the United States region. Yes, it is. There's no doubt about it. And sure, some countries pick it up. No doubt about it. But my channel is there every single day. Every single day, my channel is online streaming across 350 million devices. So reach out and get your brand out there, because if you're not, keep spending millions of dollars to be seen by, you know, that many people. God bless the Super Bowl. God bless the NFL. I'm a massive fan. Go my New York Giants. God bless my big blue New York Giants. Love them dearly. Big fan, huge fan. Been a fan since the day I was born. 64 years of fan of the New York Giants, New York Yankees. Watch them religiously. But broadcast on the Mark TV. Get your brand, get your ads, get your commercials on the Mark TV, and have 350 million plus people see it. All right. And along with that, you can help great causes on nonprofit TV like Marianne of Waikiki. And veterans. I'm a veteran, guys. I'm a veteran. My father was a veteran. Okay. I'm a veteran. I don't have to wonder if I support veterans. I do support veterans. Why? Because I am a veteran. I don't have to be told to support a veteran. I don't have to be asked to support a veteran. I support veterans because I am a veteran. My father was a veteran. That's a legacy. So get onto Mark TV, and it's a veteran-owned business. I love the NFL. I love the MLB. I love the NHL. I love it all. But I'm veteran-owned.
Thank you for your service.
God bless
Mark.
America. God bless this country.
Absolutely. I know you were speaking about football, and the Chargers, the LA Chargers played the Kansas City Chiefs in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
And beat
So
them.
yeah, yep. So, beat those Chiefs because I'm a Niner fan. So, 49ers all the way. Bang, bang, Niner gang, Niner empire. You know how we do it. But what's so interesting is I have some friends, I grew up in the Bay Area, and I've only been to one football game in my life, to be honest. So it was crazy. I went to a Raider Jaguar game at the Oakland Coliseum. Only game I've ever been to in my life. and I have friends that played professional ball. I've never been to my favorite teams. I've been to the stadium actually. I brought my son there for a field trip, and we got to go on the 50-yard line and in the locker room, and we learned about the science of football. Like there's a lot of science behind the game, and my son plays football as well. But I've been meeting a lot of players lately that are in the league or that play college ball. Just all types of athletes, and the goal is to help people do good in the world, and show what they're doing off the court, off the field, off camera, and this is it right now. This is people helping people, whether you're a veteran that served in the military or a seasoned professional that's been in their industry for a long time. That experience is valuable, and we want to bring people together to be able to up level that to others and then create this connection around the world. So it's happening on the screen or off the screen, but now we have the ability to share streaming 24/7, and then you're able to say, hey, my show's look at my spot, look at my advertising. I've had families that work. My family worked for different television companies. We're not recording. Like WB. There's a local station here in the Bay Area. It's called Coffee TV 20, and it's a little small station. It's still in business after all these years. But they were acquired by Warner Brothers and so we had that for a little bit. That little frog was on there. The little WB frog was there for a minute. My wife worked there for a bit, and but other relatives work for like Comcast, which is another big network. Yeah, I think we're not. Are we airing right now? What are we doing? I don't know what happened. Did we stop? Did we go? Keep talking. In the green room, what are we doing?
Sorry, I'm curious here too. I know we hit. Oh, did we just lose? We just lost Mark. Oh my goodness! I was going to ask him to share some information about an event that we've got coming up just a week from now, actually. So Khalil, actually, I'm trying to remember, where are you located? What state are you in?
I'm in California. I'm in the Bay Area, so near San Francisco, so Northern
Gotcha.
California. Yeah,
So
but
you're.
virtually around the world, online around the world.
I
So.
love that. Yeah, 'cause we are actually going to be live in person for an event that's a week from today, down in Grays Lake, Illinois. We're up in the Milwaukee area, and if we cross the border south into Illinois, just shortly after you cross the border is where Grays Lake is located. Like as if we were on our way to Chicago. It's right along that line. And there's an event next weekend. It's taking place Saturday and Sunday, but we will actually be there in person on Saturday. So Bob Holmes, I don't know if you've had a chance to meet him yet, the one-man volleyball team?
Yes. We actually need to have another conversation because he's interested in talking with John Carr. He's good friends with John Carr and of the Charitable Giving Foundation. So we had a good preliminary talk. We just started sharing ideas, and I'm building a lot of things based in what John did with the Charitable Giving Foundation, and essentially longer down the road, I want to create a true nonprofit that does social enterprise. And so what that is basically a fund that gets people started, a business that functions on itself. Any kind of monies that are made, keep the doors open, keep the lights on, insurance paid, and so on. And that will allow us to help more people get established. And then when you build those, for-profit businesses or structure people, then that generates more money because you're helping people scale. Now, if we tie that into even partnerships with the World of Ability or on the Marc TV, or it doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't. It's really just who we associated with and how are we working together to help more people grow. And then then you exponentially grow out and you create a bigger network. And what Marc was saying earlier with the veterans, and I was with a group that wanted to give them web stores And of course, the last time I was here with you guys, I did create a store on inspired.world. And so my store is onepath.inspired.world. And so, when I'm out and about, I say, hey, would you like to donate to my cause by buying a product? We have a product line from different things you may purchase every day. And that motto is similar to what John did, but it's fine. They're giving me a place to leverage, to do fundraising. And when it's used for a good cause, like we're talking about, that creates social impact and humanitarian work, which then we lead into the bigger funding of sovereign funds and big banking stuff. And try to keep it simple, but I like to give ways to learn anything, because knowledge that isn't used is nothing. And so I've been meeting a lot of different people in different spaces, and I want to bring these professionals to bring everybody to that same scale. It doesn't, and it's not everyone, because that's a big thought. Like, oh, can we get all 8 billion people to do one thing? No, it's one mind at a time, one person at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time. Then you start branching out, and then you have numbers, and that's called geometric progression. I mean, you might, like Marc also mentioned, being and I don't know if he did or not, but being in like network marketing companies, right? These are great places for you to meet people, and it's a tax write-off if you know how to structure yourself right. You're using that business to do more business and reduce your taxes. So we have tax professionals, CPAs, all the way up to securities licensed agents, to registered investment advisors, to fund managers, to family office. Like the people that have a huge net worth in their bank account. But how did they get there? They had a conversation. They sat down and were open to ideas, and then they'll teach you, they'll mentor you. Now, there's a lot of coaches out there. I love coaches, because there's a lot of football coaches and all kinds of coaches. They motivate you to do what you're already going to do. I'm talking about true mentorship that allows you to learn a path to create success. It's like taking you through a maze. If you go in the maze alone, you're going to go through this way, that way. You might not find your way out. Well, if somebody knows the pathway, you follow that path, and you will find success, and you'll build wealth. So it's built in long-term growth versus the instant gratification, which a lot of people focus on, and that's okay. But like I said earlier, we're working with people that look at what we're consuming, what we're purchasing, and is it useful? Or are we buying waste? Are we buying garbage? Are we putting garbage into our mind, into our body, into our spirit? These are questions that you have to ask. And so, in a way, I know there's certain countries that are using quote unquote, or don't quote me, please don't, but social credit scores, right? Like how good you are matters and gives you access to certain things in life. That's the opposite way of what we're talking about. It's that you will do good because you are good, and you'll better yourself by learning things that help benefit other people. And so these are, people from all over the world that are looking for ways that unite us versus divide us. So that way, no matter who it is or where you are, you have some connection, and you don't feel lost. You don't feel alone. There's 8 billion or so people on the planet. Some people feel totally isolated and by themselves, and especially when you have a disability. That's I know, because I'm dealing with it again. I got into a car accident. I'm very physical in my job. I still have a job. I work in healthcare. I'm a nurse, EMT, phlebotomist, computer technician, and a partridge in a pear tree. I have a lot of trade skills, but a lot of the jobs that I've chosen are physical jobs. And what if you're not physically capable of doing something? And sometimes you're treated differently. And I'm a service person. I care for those that need my arms, my legs, my eyes, my ears, my mouth to advocate. And so I look at these things, and just being here, like I've said this when I was on quite some years ago, a few years ago, that I'm working on these things, and I've not stopped. I'm building something that is inclusive versus exclusive. And it's not me alone. It's that I'm building means we are building something that will be offered to people privately, because we're talking about two different spaces when we talk about government, which is the public space. And things are reversed in our world, because the public space is private, whereas the private space is public. it's kind of counterintuitive. I know it's a little, I don't want to go confuse anyone because it's once you can see it, you can't unsee it, and you know it. And that's the point. It's using our government properly for the resources that we need, also creating those resources ourselves, and then utilizing the services to support what we're doing. And that's what government is supposed to do. And there are great people that have dedicated their lives to service through office, whether you're an officer in the military or an officer, police officer on the street, or some sort of public servant, or you decide to serve in your community through your church or different nonprofit organizations or what have you. So organizing these things, that's what I'm working on, is helping see what is where, who's on first, what's on second. And that's an homage to Abbott and Costello, one of the greatest that greatest skits ever. And I know Marc also talked about the Wayans brothers and Living Color, and I used to love watching that growing up. And I wanted to be a comedian because I'd watch all ththese funny people act in a certain way, and we emulate those that we love because imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So we're working on a lot of things, and they're coming together. We want to launch these things soon, and it's happening. I mean, that's what's really happening. It's really happening. I'm in some groups, some very prominent names I cannot mention, because people like to say, "Oh, you name drop all the time." No, I'm in circles with people, and we're working on certain things. Do you want to participate or not? So this is another form of networking and doing business, and it's you have to just be friendly. And really, that's really the simple thing that I've learned that I share is try not to go in it for yourself. Some people, you need that kind of ego, bravado, whatever, but I try to have less of that. I want to meet people that are authentic, real, that are really your friends. And then what happens? You build from that space. You can do, that's really trust and love, and that's all that's really needed in the world. But sometimes business isn't like that. Sometimes contracts, they force you to do something because they're afraid of something. Why disqualify people? How do you qualify people? Are you qualified? Am I qualified? Now we see that we are quality together, what can't we do? And these are the types of questions that you ask to lead into a deeper thought and what actions we can take to create more, for all. It's all for one and one for all. Hear ye, hear us all. Oh,
I love it.
yeah.
And I love your attitude.
Well, I think we lost Sue. You're in the matrix. You're going into the matrix.
You're all about the growth mindset, and there's a person that we networked with, getting lost, but outward focus was that a lot in what you are saying here, being outwardly focused and going, seeing who you can meet, what you can do, how you can connect. And I don't hear in your voice ever a concept of I have arrived. It's I'm still on my way. More is coming. There's plenty to do yet, and I love that, because that is how you're going to keep making those connections and keep growing. So I'm kind of curious, where is there a particular point in your life that kind of inspired you to take that type of a view on what you do?
Yeah, and just trigger warning. It's my real life, and I tell my story. My brother was murdered by law enforcement for no reason, and he was in a legal residence, minding his own business, and he had every right to be there to help build the house. Like, he was plastering, painting, doing little odd jobs, and he had somewhere to stay for a little bit. He was on the mend in his own life, and they alleged that he was a squatter in a vacant apartment. And then that made me start thinking about our right to live, because there was a sign on the window that said, "We live here. Don't kill us. Don't shoot us." And so that's what gave me a different perception and perspective about life, because what happened. It was a property that he was in, which somebody owned, which means there's a money transaction, means there's a contract, means there's rules and regulations and so on. The agency that went there is a local law enforcement agency to enforce the law. But what's more important, money, the law, or life? And I started studying law because of that. I started studying what is natural law, what is God's law. And so we're all a work in progress. We're all evolving. Now, some people revolve, they go around in
Mm-hmm.
circles on the same thing in the mind, and sometimes they never break that pattern. It becomes habitual in behavior. Then you have people that are devolving, and these are the ones that are perceived in society that are degenerates or low lives, or people always pass judgment on others versus questioning, well, how did they get there and why? And do I need to be afraid of them? They're just people like everyone else. Yes, you need to be aware of potential harms with other people in life because humans are violent. But at the same time, like if you take time sometimes, and you would think that the ones that are served to serve and protect would take that time to have a conversation. But in this busy world, some people are not, they don't take that time. They say they have no time because they're either chasing money or some ideology. So for the last 20 years, I've been focused on developing myself, obviously overcoming a trauma. And I'm fortunate because I didn't go down the dark path of substance abuse, or, I got upset. I went through emotional things, of course. PTSD is real. And that's why I can really relate to soldiers that go out and fight and come back, and they sometimes don't find their way. It's no different than somebody getting in trouble as a youth and going to prison for most of their life, and they come out and they don't know what to do. So I really look at life for what it is, and I look at ways that we can truly help people.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, like Les Brown always says. But some people say, don't share your story, don't tell your truth. And also, I'll never not tell my truth of what happened to my brother, because I speak for him. I'm his living legacy. No one else is. No one else will. A lot of people, even I've shared my story with, they said, oh, what did he do? Was he not listening? Was he not complying? That's that, whatever. Those are automatic negative responses. What if it was you? What if it was your family member? Like you don't know unless you're in that situation. And a lot of people, even myself, I'm a reluctant activist. I want to live my life and want to work my job and take care of my family, and not really focus on the outside world. So in a way, the situation that has affected me emotionally and has an effect in action, it created an after my life. And so all I do is study. I focus on systems. I focus on building, really with belief. It's a very simple thing. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And that's why I've surrounded myself with people from the Napoleon Hill Foundation, Napoleon Hill Institute. They teach these master keys, and I want to fund it. And so I started looking at, like, just to go a little deeper. I got invited to an event because I'm a affected family member, or they call us impacted family members. Right? We don't like titles or labels or anything like that, because they try to do analysis based on what somebody identifies you as. You are who you believe you are, good or bad. And so I went to this event. It was a family event that was supposed to be a week-long retreat where you can just let go of your fears, your worries, and they were supposed to have these. They were going to run out a bunch of hotels or something, and we would spend a week long, immersed in like healing modalities, massage, sound bathing, acupuncture, yoga, you name it. Plus little workshops that taught legal and all these things. But they didn't raise any money. I don't know how they were raising money. And what I came to find out is that Colin Kaepernick, the former 49er quarterback, donated $25,000 of $1 million of his own salary, his own money that he's earned playing football, to different community organizations. And so when he did that, I said, wow, that's very generous. Why would he give up his time? But also, he was taking a position. Literally, he took a knee at a football game and sparked controversy that brought different changes around the world. He achieved his objective of bringing notoriety to something that most people don't even look at. They don't even care. They have these preconceived prejudices or notions of thought, and And I just happened to be invited because my brother has lost his life at the same situation. So he had a foundation called the Know Your Rights campaign, which teaches people their rights when dealing with law enforcement, because a lot of different communities don't know how to interact because they're not taught how to. And you would think law enforcement would teach you how to, but they don't. They just want you to comply. And again, I'm not anti-law enforcement, military, government, any of these things. I'm just speaking on my experience in life. And so that led me to meet more and more people, because that 25,000 he donated to Silicon Valley Debug, which is an organization that fights for people's rights, whether, they have different causes that they fight for. And sometimes those causes become agendas. So certain ways I couldn't align myself with certain groups because I didn't want to risk my family's safety or my own security, because there are people that sympathize on one side or the other. And so I learned very quickly that the way you win a war is not to fight at all. Create something private that you can do for yourself and with others, and then you have any type of corporation in the United States, any type of business around the world. So yes, the work is never done. You're never complete until you pass your last breath. And I don't feel complete. I feel empty because there's so much to do, and I want to fill myself with this progress, and that's what I do. I've been building relationships with the right people. I've spoken to people that have done talks in the UN or TED Talks, or diplomats are saying, here, I've been invited to peace talks. And like, that's when you get out there, what are you doing? But most people are saying, give me some money. I don't like that. I don't feel right. I think I just don't believe in it. I believe there's a way to create a fund that is residual and perpetual, based in financial equations and formulas. And that's why I surround myself with bankers and investors and very smart people that are established, and they know that I'm just starting out. And I know a lot of them won't give you a nickel. Some of them will, some of them won't. But don't expect anyone to give you anything. You have to earn it. And so one of my late mentors was a billionaire. He passed away 2024 April. And every Saturday I'd be on with him for 4 hours on a Zoom, talking about his book, Can You Really Think and Grow Rich, which is based on the principle of Think and Grow Rich, and how he partnered with all these different people, including one of the richest men in the world at the time. This guy's name was Adnan Khashoggi. So, following his story is I'm following his story, and I'm actually living my own in a juxtaposition to what he perceived to do. So I'm living his legacy as well, because he wants to help the unhoused. He was homeless for a brief period, for what his book says. So I believe the story. So, people can get onto hard times. And then I start seeing other billionaires and millionaires doing undercover boss or undercover millionaire, undercover billionaire, where they kind of play these, like, they say, what if this person was put in this environment, like an experiment? Life is an experiment because everything is a practice. You practice, practice, practice until you become proficient to be the master of said subject. That's everything. And I want to organize these things and help people learn at that level, because you're connected at that level through myself, through Marc, through yourselves, whoever. And this is how you organize the chaos. It's we're all on this planet together living, but how are we making each other's lives better? And that's the question I ask myself every day. How does this align with my purpose, my vision for my own family's legacy, but also how can I help more people? So that literally raises the consciousness and vibration of yourself, your resonance, and that's what's got me into many, many rooms with the right people that offer the same. All you have to do is show up. Literally giving the keys away. I don't sell anything. I'm not marketing anything. I'm just a person, just like everybody else. I have a job, I have a family, but I'm also doing something to really make a difference. That social impact creates social change. That social change becomes an humanitarian project. Then we can do more for the people that are in the world that don't have clean water, electricity, or education. We want to create literacy. And a lot of people say, well, if everyone was smarter, then there'd be no money in the world, or no, I wouldn't be able to earn. Yes, it would not be, you wouldn't be earning the same. It would be equal. There would be equitability with equality. Not to say that somebody that has more gets the same as the person that has nothing right away, but they will still receive equal amount over time. And that's what most people don't understand. So, to package all these things, people say, oh, put it down in a 30-second pitch. Really? That's going to take some time to curate something to share a lifetime in 30 seconds. So it's really finding a specific thing that you can share that leads into more once someone is open to have the greater conversation like we're doing right now. So, I
Totally
thank
agree.
you for inviting me. Like, I'm still
Yes.
working on these things.
Yes.
And, I'm still part of the Happy Neighborhood Project. I haven't talked to Edwin in a while because I want to build within that community from the other communities that I found around the world. And, I have a solution, a real solution to real world problems. And it was Elon Musk that said, value is given into the proportion of the problems that you solve in the world. Or excuse me, value is given to the difficulty in proportion to the problems that you solve in the world. I misquote and misspoke. So I want to solve poverty. I want to solve hunger. I want to solve illiteracy. I want to solve many problems. Together is the answer. That's it. I can keep going, but I'm talking for a long time.
Yes, we can, and we can all do it together, right?
This is real
Sue, you
life.
had a amazing
simple,
event.
but it's
Sue,
very
you had
complex.
an amazing event last weekend or 2 weeks. Sue, am I coming through? Aloha.
Yeah,
I'm
say that
here.
again. You were talking about the event, was the water ski event?
Yeah, the motto was yes I can, and I want to roll over to that because I want to share a page on my book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, that you can all relate to. And the book is for underwater acts of kindness of cleaning the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So Noah becomes a hard of hearing whale in a boating accident and loses his hearing. And he's rehabilitated by Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, who now has a YouTube channel. But what I wanted to share with our friend in San Francisco here is we have a pelican named Penny. And I'm just going to read the page to you here about what we have in this book, Underwater Acts of Kindness. It's the chapter about ecosystem engineers. So the general of the New Earth Army is excited about the mission. I'll signal the land animals as he adds Brooklyn the Hotter Otter, Rusty the Raccoon, and a whole bunch of eager beagers who really give a damn will be ready to help us on shore. They've been wanting to know more about this mess for a long time. So the general of the New Earth Army also tells Noah, the hard of hearing whale, and Splash, his wife, about another group of friends called Can Do Activist Pelicans that live near San Francisco. And we have a friend from San Francisco on here. And guess what? Their motto is Yes, we can, Pelican. They've been cleaning up the bay and shorelines for years, collecting aluminum cans, plastic, and glass bottles in their bills. The leader, Doug Grace Vertigogo, and her assistant, Miss Penny Pelican, have taught these small birds how to cash in every can and every bottle to retrieve, he says. Bills for bills, if you will. As he bids farewell to Noah and Splash, the general of the New Earth Army gives each of them a generous pat on the back and shouts in favor of cheer. Go planet, they echo in reply. So that's what our characters are doing in the book, Underwater Acts of Kindness. They're all being part to be of service and to take care of our planet. So I wanted to share that with our friend from San Francisco. And last week, 2 weeks ago, your motto was Yes, I Can. And we have a song by Lucy Lynch in our book, Cool Acts of Kindness. It's called Yes, I Can. So if Emily could play that later in the show, like we did last week, that would be just amazing. So thank you for letting me share this part of the story.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, and I appreciate that reminder too with what we did with the At the Lake event. They had all sorts of different sporting type activities going on for people of all abilities, and those that were running the event said, if we have a participant that says, hey, I want to try rock climbing, but it's going to be a physically challenging concept for them to, just because of whatever their ability, disability, whatever it is, it was something where they were all about saying, yes, we can. Let's figure out a way. You want to try doing this? There's going to be a way. If we all put our heads together, we will figure it out and find a way to make this be what each of the athlete participants were interested in doing. If they want to try riding on a jet ski, well, let's figure out how to make that happen. If whatever it is that they wanted to try, that was the entire premise of the day. And part of it, there was, I don't know, 50, 70 volunteers. There was a lot of volunteers there. And they said, the leaders were saying, if somebody wants to do something and you need more brains to get in here, more bodies to brainstorm how to make this work for this particular athlete, let's do it. Bring more people in. Come get us. We will figure out a way. We want that day, that experience to be everything it could possibly be for each individual that attends. And that was such an amazing concept one of those things that it's like, I never thought about it that way. I always figure, we'll do what we can. We'll figure something out. But to put it out there as the premise for everybody to have in the forefront of their mind, to be in that position of saying, yes, we can. We will find a way. Whatever it is you want to do, let's go for it. There's no stopping. There's no holding back. We'll as long as we can make it safe. Why would we ever say no? So yeah, that whole concept, I love all the things I'm hearing here, and I'm totally sensing that theme of how we all connect in that way to help each other out. Even on Fridays, corporate prayer. We have a small group of us Zoom for it's prayer, basically. Two different people volunteer to read the prayer that we do that same part each week, and then somebody delivers a message at the end that's just, it's a short message, just a few minutes, and I actually was blessed with the opportunity to do that this last time. And one of the things that happened to come to me that day that was worth sharing seems to be appropriate here as well, and connects very well with what you guys are saying. And it's a matter of, when you need help, look around. You'll see the helpers. The help is there. And when you are in a position where you can be the one to help others, be that person for them. I know with where I work during the day, it's a new school year at the university, and there's a lot of people there right now, like hundreds of people that this is their first university experience ever. This is their first day walking on campus. There's so many unknowns going on, so many different things, living away from home, trying to navigate all the things, whatever it is. The number of people I told this past week of, if you need anything, here's where my office is. Come find me. I'll help. And I've been saying that for years. And I can't even count the hundreds of people I've said that to, but I can count on one hand the number that have actually stopped in and said, really, I need some help. Can you help me? So having that comfort of knowing help is available, whether or not they end up needing it, to me, that makes a huge difference, just mindset-wise. That's one less stress. There's that comfort of knowing help is there and I know where to go. So if I encourage others when you're out and about, whatever you're doing, if you are ever in a situation where somebody needs help and you are in a position where you can be that help, do it. Why hold back? Make things happen. So I don't know. I feel like with a lot of what I've heard from both of you, that just kind of is a theme that I hear. And so now, Khalil, I know you said with Happy Neighborhood Project, I'm guessing with where you're located, you've probably actually met Edwin himself. Have you guys talked in person?
No, we spoke a few times over Zooms and phone calls. And who invited me to that Happy Neighborhood was Robert Beilin, and he's in Santa Rosa, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I'm at. And then Edwin is about an hour and a half, depending on traffic, right? It's always traffic in the Bay. Yeah. But So it's easy to meet online, and I understand the concept of the Happy Networking Project, and I want to accelerate it. I want to bring more funds in, and I did have this discussion with Edwin a while ago, but it was a bit premature because I wasn't ready in what I was ready to offer to give, right? So, like literally, what one of my business partners does is he gives capital to new corporations based here in the U.S. up to $2 million. So we can create, you could take debt and make it good debt, but also use that to build funds. And the more that we do that, then we're not worried about what we're selling as a product. We're able to give more, and this is part of the structure of actually, there's different strategies that are used by very wealthy people. And I'm literally on another call right now learning about listening how you can structure yourself and how you can take your LLC and do certain things. So I have a few different mentors that do this. One guy managed $22 billion, and he teaches for free on the internet. And he always says, who teaches this for free on the internet? Nobody. From a Keith Sweat song. But anyway, it's true, because it's hard to find people that will elevate your life and put money in your hand so you can do business, so you can pay yourself, because everyone else is looking for work. And that's, it was Robert Kiyosaki that said, the wealthy seek out and create networks where everyone else just looks for work. And so I took that to the heart. I said, wow, what am I doing? I work for a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, been there for 20 years, but I own nothing. And that's the problem. It's how do we get ourselves from one position to another? So, sorry, my little doggo. So we can help more people, not just ourselves. And this is the problem with most people. They're looking to sell one product or one thing, and they're chasing money sale after sale. I don't want to do that. If I have something of value that I want to share, I want to give it away. I'd love to give away the book, The Underwater Acts of Kindness, to little children, to daycares, to little book clubs for little kids. Because then I remember when I was in grade school, and some, I don't know, school people came by and said, hey, we want to help clean the oceans. And basically they were trying to tap into our young brains and get ideas on how to solve problems. Sorry, there's partners outside in another room. So sorry. Come here. Come on. Come in. Come here. Sorry. Oh, so it's,
You are all, we have.
anyhow, we want to be people, and I mean, people are simple. There's ways that we can utilize the network and bring more networks. And I met some people that have their own networks, and it's really creating entity for an individual and then scaling them out within the community. There's simple numbers. I'll just say 1,000 people with $1 million is $1 billion. Now we just funded ourselves with debt to be able to do business or to fund whatever said project. But how do you create something of revenues that will then pay off that debt? But we already have. We have an established network of people. I'm solving the issue of business where people are chasing sales. I'm not opposed to sales. I'm just not a salesman. And that's the challenge I'm having with people that are focused on sales. Here, sell this, do that. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. You can't force somebody to do something. And that's part of the issue in society. People are forced to do things that are not like them. And we're expected just to fit in, be like others, and we can't be ourselves. And so this is an age-old problem in these modern societies. So I look beyond that. I say, okay, well, let's look at human civilization. Look at human civilization of all of us on the planet as a species. Now you're looking at from the macro, and a lot of these very wealthy people, they try to create systems through the Economic Forum or the World Health, or the big foundations, but everyone says, oh, they're bad, they're evil, this, that, whatever. They could be, but what if you're able to utilize them in a positive way? What if what they were trying to do was look at issues before they happen? And no one really has control because no one can control anyone. No one has dominion over someone else. So, I was on a chat earlier and they're like, Bill Gates is evil. I don't know. I don't know him personally. How do I know that he's evil? I've not seen him do anything evil, but we hear about things that he's doing with the different companies that he's bought that may affect our lives, or even the current administration. Right? There's some things that are not right. Anyone can see that, but also how can we utilize them as who they are right now to benefit us and what we're doing for the whole? And there's even Mother Teresa said she would take money from a gangster because she knows she would do good with it. Right? It's all about purpose and intention, and using the six mental faculties, which is reason, intuition, memory, perception, imagination, and willpower. And that's what I learned from following, Napoleon Hill's work, or those. It's the goal is to get people to be able to learn and listen to what this is, so they can better themselves. So that way we're interconnected globally. So no matter where you go, there's a peace ambassador in Marianne, there's a peace ambassador in Emily, there's a peace ambassador in Sue, and Khalil here in the Bay Area. Right now, that you have vetted, verified people that are identified, and then we can give literal accounts that will allow us to do funding to other groups and services to be able to purchase things. Why? Because then you're doing business with people, and when you do that, then you have record. That ledger is important because it shows the value between two entities. But then now you're associated because you're doing business. So all this years I've been studying how these connections work. Have I started a business? Have I earned any money from it? No. I've done different business. I've earned some money, yes, but it's I'm a startup, and what I am is I'm a startup for startups, or moreover, what I'm creating is the startup for entrepreneurs, those that that are laborers, that are workers, that are looking to create something more for themselves besides their jobs. So you can work your job. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to stop what you're doing. Now you have a fail safe. If you get sick, if you get injured, if you're disabled, if you have whatever, it doesn't matter. You have people that will other parts of the world already do this. We're just so slow here in the United States because there's expectations versus acceptance. That's where we have public benefits, and now they're trying to take them away, which destroys families, and have to figure out how to work even harder when things are already hard enough. Like it's just counterintuitive. It does not make sense. It makes sense for some that have an agenda because they have expectations, but like I try to look at it from their lens, and some people can't do that. They're not able to look at the other side of the table. If you were talking to the opposition, what will be the discussion? Well, are you trying to convince somebody or something? Or are you trying to come to a conclusion that is fair, amicable, and just? So it's that. And more people are having this type of discussion. More people are putting down party lines and putting down, any kind of title. And now we're just people. So what's next? I always say, like, yes, someone slapped me with reality. And when I told the story, my brother once said, I'm sorry that happened to you and your family. I give you my condolence, but also now that that's done, so what? Now what? What's next? What are you going to do? What action are you going to take? Are you going to allow this situation to consume you and destroy you? Or are you going to take that energy and do something with it? That's what you call transmutation of energy, a feeling of thought. And so it's like, I can, if you think something, you can do it. And as long as you charge it with enthusiasm, then there you go. And we lost Sue as well. So, this is a masterclass I'm giving, and there's more to it, but I need to structure. I need writers. I need people to promote it. I need to put it on the TV stations, and have people watch it. So, but be it, live it. Sorry, my dog is barking a lot too. So, ladies, Are we done for today? It's just us three now. I think we're not. Are we streaming still? Or are we live? What's happening?
Doesn't ever gain near the end here. But I can certainly play Marianne's video here. That's okay with
Okay.
everybody.
Please do. Thank you, Emily.
Greatly. Thank you, Emily. I have 4 book trailers now and Apple App Games, 4 YouTube channels, coloring books for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, and climate change.
For the love of water, World Water Year. Join us as we celebrate World Water Day with the 4th book in the Acts of Kindness series by Marianne of Waikiki. Meet Robo Motivation, a brave robot delivering clean water to schools worldwide. Alongside Waterflow the whale, our deaf ocean hero, they show that every act of kindness can change the world, one drop at a time. Plus, meet Pollination, the inspiring bee championing sustainability, and Mr. Penmanship, the Emperor Penguin, urging you to stand up for climate change by writing to Greenpeace. Powered by Lucy Lynch's Love is the Only Way. This movement reminds us that love, kindness, and action create waves of change. This book is dedicated to Leon McLaughlin, founder of Clean Water Foundation, Seattle, Washington, USA. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies for every student through DonorsChoose.org. Support a classroom, build a future. Get your copy today on Amazon and visit actoffkindnessseries.com. Unite for the love of water.
Well, thank you, Emily. Can you play the other one, Underwater Acts of Kindness? And you pronounce your name Khalil? Hello?
Khalil.
I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your name?
Khalil.
Like you said,
Hello.
it's possible to have the reply
Hello.
used, but reply like I want to get that if it's needed.
Sorry, multitasking.
Set up for you. I know what you're saying that the expense credit setting.
Is there a broom? Not from your house. Oh, perfect, I'll see that.
What if you could help save the ocean just by listening to a story? Set sail with Underwater Acts of Kindness. Join Noah, the hard-of-hearing humpback whale, and his marine friends as they take on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. On their journey between Hawaii and California, they discover an enormous pile of plastic, but with teamwork and courage, they plan to clean it up. With the guidance of Dod General of the New Earth Army, they rally ocean creatures and you to help restore our seas. Now available on Amazon Audible, listen as author Marianne of Waikiki narrates this inspiring adventure, featuring mesmerizing music by Lucy and the Perfect Wave and Nick's guitar, echoing the sounds of whales and dolphins. This book is dedicated to Boy and Slat, founder of The Ocean Cleanup, making waves for a cleaner future. Sing along with Noah's song and dive into a world of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. After reading, visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel for more adventures. Learn the ASL ABCS with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab on YouTube, kids. Get coloring books now at www.actsofkindnessseries.com and Amazon. Plus, grab your New Earth Army t-shirt and pledge to protect our planet. Underwater Acts of Kindness by Marianne of Waikiki. Available now on Amazon, Audible, and actsofkindnessseries.com.
Okay, so I just want to thank you guys for coming on today. You guys are always welcome back any Saturday. For any of our other shows, but any last words you guys like to say before we end for today?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for sharing with me. And I look forward to the next one when I can make time.
Sounds good. Marianne, do you have any last things you have to say before we?
Thank you again. So go out and play. And nice meeting you, Khalil. And I look forward to speaking with you. And again, all classroom teachers can request copies of the books from donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org. And you can visit the website, www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Visit the YouTube channel, the Apple App Games. So go out and play. Adios and aloha. Mahalo, Marianne of Waikiki.